All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Locker Room Sports Talk here on a wild Wednesday night. That's what we're going to call it, I guess. We've had a bunch of stuff going on here today already, and we had to get the Birge on here, man. We got to talk some darn Georgia football. Birge, what is going on, old Slick Willie? What's going down over there in the old state of Georgia?
Not much. Just preparing for some football Saturday and a good taco bar we got planned.
Well, that sounds like a great idea, and I'm in for that, bro. Sign me up for taco bar. It don't have to be Taco Tuesday. I mean, what's wrong with taco? What's wrong with Taco Wednesday? I'm down with any of that stuff. We got to talk some Georgia football. Tennessee game coming up for the weekend. It's kind of split down the middle a little bit. It's 48 here, and it's so ESPN's got Tennessee 51% and Georgia 48%. The spread right now shows today Georgia favored by 3.5. We talked about this yesterday. I did a spot on them a little bit, and I know Georgia's missing right guard probably for sure, and maybe a right tackle.
Yeah, I hadn't heard any updates. I was going to look and see what I could find, but I think Ernest Green was dressed last week and didn't play. He should play. I'm not sure about the guard, but I think the tackle should play.
Okay. Well, I guess first off, I'm just a straight to the point kind of guy. I mean, been doing this for 6 years here. We got over 500-600 videos on YouTube, and we just go get straight at it. What do you feel for the game? I mean, we base our little bit of an opinion on what we've saw before, and that's kind of all we can go by. I mean, we can predict and guess. I mean, we can be as good a guesser as the AP poll voter, Miss So-and-so from out on the West Coast that covers USC. Yeah, I moved South Florida down after their win. I mean, we can be that, just be deranged. But, what are you kind of thinking for the game?
I don't have any reason to believe that it'll be any different. I mean,
than it has been the last 73 years that y'all beat Tennessee.
Well, here's a trend that you see. Georgia never covers when they're big favorites against FBS or FCS opponents. In fact, it's ridiculous. They're 0-13-1 versus the spread and potential blowouts under Kirby Smart. So it doesn't really matter too much that, we struggled a little bit. I know we had 2 punts, 2 turnovers, got stopped on the 1-yard line or 6-inch line right before the half. 8 in a row. Yeah. I mean, it has been 8 in a row. And the last win, I believe, was in Athens. It was the what Tennessee fans refer to as the Dobbs nail boot, Dobbs to Jennings, I believe. Right after Georgia basically threw a long one for a touchdown, they come back and win it. Anyway, it seems like it's been forever ago. But I think you see similar things. Tennessee comes in, under Heupel. They score a lot of points. They've been scoring a lot of points this year. They've been looking pretty good. They're throwing the ball down the field. Now, I would say that everybody that you asked would agree that Georgia's going to be the best defense they played so far, by far. And we really don't know what Georgia's defense is going to do. I mean, I would imagine they're going to come up, try to slow the run, probably play one-on-one outside. I mean, I don't think that Kirby's scared because I think it's the same thing as last year. Nico in Tennessee was lighting it up. They come in. And it seems like Aguilar is playing better than Nico ever did. But Aguilar has not faced the top-level competition yet. So there's a lot of questions. Offensively, a lot. Obviously, everybody points at Mike Bobo in the play calling. There's been a lot of fingers pointed at Gunnar Stockton. Everybody asks me, why are we not throwing the ball down the field? why are we throwing 20 screenplays and they're all over Bobo? I'm like, look.
You know where I'm pointing the finger at. You already know. I don't have to tell you.
I know. But look, about Gunnar Stockton, I get it. It would make everybody feel better if they would just turn him loose and have him throw down the field. That's not what he's been asked to do. He's been asked, okay, you got this run play here, or you got a 12-yard soft DB over there. Throw it over to your 6'4" receiver, get 10 yards. It's just an extension of the run game.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
Do I think you're going to see more run and then play action in this game? I believe so. And I wouldn't be surprised if the first play is a flea flicker and they take a deep shot. I wouldn't. But I also would not be surprised if they run it right up the center's butt the first play. Either or.
Yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. And like I said, we have to base things off of history and what we know. And it is a new season every season. It is. And Aguilar has looked pretty good. He's 39 for 59. He's thrown 5 tutties. Thomas he's ran the ball for 3 touchdowns. You got Brazil. He's been one of their top receivers. And of course that freaking beast dude, Joseph, 2 sacks, but you got Allen in there. Of course, Branch he's gonna take off and fly high. He's got over 100 yards receiving, and Frazier's got over 100 rushing. And Gunnar's what you was talking about. He's 40 for 58. Well, that's he's not. Yeah, it's not asked for him to kind of like Ty Simpson, and we'll talk about Bama in a minute, but I'm not asking you ready to win me the game. I'm just telling you go out there and don't screw it up. Just go out there and take care of the football. Trust your mind, what you see. Pop the screen, hit the bubble, run those comeback routes, run a draw play. If it's open and it's there and the middle opens up sometimes, take off with it and run it. We know the boy can run the ball. I like Stockton. I liked him better than Beck. Now, my prediction was that Beck may be better than at Miami. And it seems that way for right now. Now we're going to find out a little bit more about them come Saturday, and how they're going to match up to play South Florida, which they should win the game, right? We think so, but
I think so.
Tennessee defensively, they've been pretty good the last couple of years. They're not terrible, but historically based, like I said, we're kind of like generic lawyers. We lay out a case to give our side of, and I just kind of say here's the options, and here's what they are, and some of it, and it is a lot of it, Birge. That some of it's just feeling, kind of how you feel about a game, just from years and years of watching. I've been watching for close to 40 years. Tennessee ain't showed us yet that they can beat Georgia. Like Georgia hadn't showed us they could beat Alabama. It's the same boat. It's the same stuff. Georgia's pounded on Tennessee longer than Bama has. You know what I'm saying, though. Same kind of cliche talk. Until you can show us, it's hard to – Uncle Lou, old booger boy over there, he says he has legitimate nightmares about Alabama. He's like that bad wart that you froze off your foot 3 times and just won't go away.
Well – I know it's a different subject, but when it comes to Alabama, you're talking about when we were playing Bama, Bama was the measuring stick. You're going against the best team. It's either, okay, they're the best team or we're the best team. And there was games, I remember that first title game, what was it, 26-23? Good grief.
Yeah.
The better team won, but were both of those teams good? I think they were. Yeah,
because some of those probably any of them, either one wins, they probably they go in and win it anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, does Heupel have – has he got a little bit of magic? Has he got a little bit of luck? Because it does, man. We've talked about it here all the time. And, again, we're on Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday nights usually, but tonight's just a little special night. Dogs, emergency. This is a game that Tennessee's got to win. Look, it's time for Heupel. He made the playoffs last year. Georgia wins the SEC about like usual, and it's just time for him to if he wants to make a way, and I'm not saying he's leaving, but if he wants to start to build a resume of, hey, look at my resume, it kind of starts with beating Georgia, don't it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because you're going to see him every year.
Yeah. Now, this is our great buddy from Spring Garden, Alabama, Mason. He's a huge Tennessee fan. And my feeling from yesterday, it's just, look, I picked Auburn to beat Alabama. You was on with us back during the summer one day. I got a dirty feeling that if they're going to do it, I think this may be the year to do it. I'm not a Bobo fan. Sorry, Georgia people that like him. I, working in Georgia in the 90s, understand your pain because I work with people that I'm watching him play. They hated him. There's a lot of older guys that are my age, close to 50. They remember the pain that Bobo's is brought to them. I think Tennessee they got as good a shot at this year as any, but it's going to depend on both defensive lines and offense, particularly we'll say for Tennessee, can they keep the rush off of him? Is Georgia going to give up some sacks? At opportune times of the field, can Tennessee make them punt the ball? Can they, keep them, down around their 40 or so? And even on a punt, they can get the ball within, striking distance. They can have a 2 or 3 big play and have some explosive plays because they don't have the dogs that they've had, before at Tennessee. Squirrel White's at Florida State. He burnt Bama's biscuits down there other weekend. So if it's going to happen, I didn't feel this way last year. I think if it's going to happen, then this year is probably the year for it to happen. Yeah, see the older guys over in Georgia. He works over that way. They just don't like him, man. It's just not a. I just ain't never like. I like him probably about as much as Freeze. I'm just not a fan, and everybody has their own thoughts about it. So obviously Kirby likes him. If he didn't, then he must feel like he's doing a good job, or he wouldn't keep him around, right?
Yeah, I would say.
He's surely not that big. Kirby is a dog, bro. The man picked off Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning recently said the pass was tipped.
I love that, man. We're talking about just dudes being dudes, loving the game of football and talking that ish. I like it. What about I ain't really talked to you about Bama since the loss to Florida State. What's your quick take on the fall of the Tide? Are you ecstatic about it and it's about darn time and you're sick of hearing about Alabama? Or do you think this is just a bump that DeBoer's going through? He's not great on the road. And, to use La Monroe is not really the measuring stick, but they did have a flawless game. But, where do you at with them losing that game, and what do you think about them in Wisconsin?
When it comes to Alabama, I still think the players are there to do anything that you would want to do. I personally do not believe in DeBoer. I do not think he is the right man for the job. Not saying that you still can't have a great season, even though you lost to Florida State. I think we're going to look back and say Florida State's season was the greatest collection of transfers, and, they put it together way earlier than anybody thought. I'll tell you, when Florida State played Alabama, man, I took Alabama in the points easy. I thought it was going to be an easy blowaway because, ever since Georgia beat the dog mess out of Florida State, however long ago it was, Florida State has just been, a dumpster fire. And I believe that's why everybody had that huge reaction when they beat Alabama because of what they've seen previously.
It's how
we talked about before, or like I've heard you talk about. It wasn't the same team. It wasn't the 2-10 team. They had bukus, transfers, and what gives any team and any defense problems? Mobile quarterback that can kind of do it all, and he's a pretty good player.
Yeah, it's not the. I mean, look, I've watched Bama since early '80s. Mid '80s. I remember. I can remember games from 85, 86, 87, sort of. I can remember some, especially Iron Bowls, because Granddaddy was a big Bama fan, and it's not them losing, because I've seen the struggles as a teenager. Nebraska and Miami and even little Florida State, those are the teams that I watched dominate college football. Bama was kind of just so in there sometimes. Then after I graduated in 96, during that time a little, you seen them win the SEC, I think in 99 maybe, I think. Freddie Kitchens, or it's how they played, man. I just, in coaching and being with kids, my peeve is the thing of, you don't have to be good to try, Birge. You don't. I don't care. I can tell when you're trying. I ain't got time to stand out here and waste my breath of trying to help you be better at something you say that you want to do, and you're freaking walking around. Are you kidding me? That is what bothered me. That's what peeved me. It's not the loss. What's that, Ben? It's not that. It's how they lost. I've seen guys walking on the first touchdown over there. Deontay, I seen it when it happened. I went back and did film on it again. He picked up the back. He stepped inside instead of walking out. That was not his man. The inside back was coming down, and then he just walked to the goal line. He could have popped him at the 2. You don't know what may happen, because the next play, just let him score. You shut him down and then make him line up on the goal line and score. They may fumble the ball in the first play. That's what I didn't like. I didn't like the effort. I didn't like in Georgia, we opened up with them and talking about Austin Peay some. I didn't appreciate Georgia's effort. There's no way that they went to work all week and practiced that game and walk out there and that's the best they got. There's no way. They're not even trying half the time. There's no reason at all that they didn't open that box of cupcakes, like I said Tuesday, and eat all the cupcakes till they're full and not have any crumbs on their belly or the box have any icing even on the lid. I mean, that thing's lit clean. They should score every time they get the ball with them. This is a inferior team. There's no way. Well, I don't like the effort. Try harder.
I hear you. But like I said earlier, the past indicates that it's not really a litmus test for Georgia, because, like I said, under Kirby Smart against these teams, 0-13-1. That's covered the spread.
Yeah, it's just a feeling, and I'm probably wrong. If there's not more effort, and here's something too, and you know this, you played the game and stuff, and whether us fans like it or not, we don't want to hear this. And I don't know if this Bama's a little bit of their trouble. Some of them was just been drunk the night before. I'd just be straight up with you.
Out late.
2 a.m. Come on, man. You're not even trying. You're not taking it serious, then go away.
Yeah.
But to get up for that game, does Georgia really get up to play Austin Peay? When I'm at Jacksonville, when I was at Jayville, bro, we played Austin Peay for homecoming my last year. My last year at Jacksonville's year we played for the championship. We played them for homecoming. I mean, it wasn't even close. I mean, they was playing, I remember the second team receiver was in one of my classes, and he got hurt, so he got rotated back, and I remember him getting to play, and I was talking about it. So we need to see effort from Georgia. I think Tennessee is ready. I think this is their best shot if they're going to beat them. I think this is it. Now, Alabama, do you think their shot against Wisconsin, do they cover? I mean, the points was it was like
20.
Yeah, I think it was 20 yesterday. Yeah, it still shows 20 and a half.
Oh, no, that's right around it. I mean, I haven't seen Wisconsin play this year, I'll be honest with you.
ESPN has them at 89% chance to win. I mean,
yeah.
Now their quarterback, I broke them down Tuesday show. If you're interested in that and you're a Bama guy and you want to know more about Wisconsin, their center and their quarterback are going to be new. The O'Neal kid is going to be taking the snaps. He did break a Wisconsin opening day record since 1951. He has the best debut for a quarterback at Wisconsin.
I did hear that the right guard and the right tackle, Wisconsin, are true freshmen.
Yes. Now that don't. I mean, that could be okay. I mean, there's some great guys. I mean, we've seen Michael Carroll come in and play against La Monroe from Bama. He's a freshman from over at Georgia. He played good as a true, but it's La Monroe.
Yeah, he's not going against Alabama.
And Wisconsin's offensive line wise, now I know they're missing their center and quarterback exchange. Just in my experience with a son being the center at their most recently, history, it's a big deal when you have a new center. I mean, he had to go out one play, and the team goes nuts because the exchange was on the ground.
Yeah.
It was like second down, and now it's 3rd and 15. But this is not high school. These guys have took snaps together, so I don't think it's a big deal. But how they like to move on the line. Their linemen are going to be stepping down and playing those old, not just straight up board drill, but step drills. And they create little gaps and lanes for their tailback to run in. And I think they can run the ball some, but if Alabama can shut that down early, and if Ty can keep his, confidence going, hey, look, man, he's had a good year. He didn't turn the ball over any. He threw for over 250 in a loss. A lot of that, the points, the defense was walking and let Florida State score a bunch of points. So they should be able to cover that. They should be. They should be able to take care of business. The Jones, the tailback's over 100 yards, receiving's over 100, but their tailback, I think the yards that they even had last week against Middle Tennessee was like 150 or something, but like 50 or 60 of it was off one play. So I don't know if they're poo-pooing a little bit or, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't have any pre-season Big Ten players. They don't have any. That kind of worries me some, I don't know kind of, what to think about that. What is that?
I mean, no household names, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Miami, Ohio, and Middle Tennessee State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem. I think Bama should be able to cover it. It shouldn't be a big deal. Let's mention the real Civil War is what they call. People have actually, like, families, like, literally break up in this rivalry. And we can spend about 30 seconds on it if you want to. The connection with Bama, Eli Holston's at Pitt. They're going to be playing West Virginia. It's going to be 2:30 on ESPN, good middle of the day game. Now, he's thrown for over 500 yards already, 8 touchdowns. And their receiver, the Williams Jr. guy, he's almost at 200 yards. And the Vaughn kid, he's already scored a touchdown. And their running back, the Jay White, which I really like. I think he's a good back. And then the Marcella, he's over 400 yards passing, 32 for 46, only 1 touchdown. So it kind of feels like, it feels like Pitt should probably be able to win this game. Holstein coming from Bama seems like that should be he just seems like the better quarterback. I think that Pitt should be able to outweigh them, right now at this moment in time. Any thoughts on Pitt and West Virginia game?
Well, before I tell you what I think, I'm going to have to give a shout-out to the Vaughn kids that you was talking about.
Yeah.
Cam Vaughn, he played quarterback at Temple a few years back. I believe he spent some time at Jacksonville State, if I'm not mistaken, and he transferred to West Virginia.
Yes.
Having a good year. 9 catches for 170 and a touch so far.
Yeah, I think he come with Coach.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
But as far as this game goes, I mean, West Virginia just took a loss to the Ohio Bobcats.
Right. And that's, well, I mean, they're 45th in FBS overall defense. They give up about 280 a game. Pitt does. I mean, West Virginia. That may be a problem, Birge.
It may be a slight problem, huh? Well, when you look at it, Pittsburgh they've faced the Cuse or whatever, and Central Michigan, which they scored, pretty good amount of points on both teams. I think I would favor Pittsburgh in this one. If I'm not mistaken, I think the matchup predictor ESPN only has Pittsburgh favored by 59%.
Yeah.
So you would think it would be more. I think it's -5.5 is what it's up to now.
Yeah, their overall Pitt's offense is 33rd ranked. Their rushing's not real good, only 140 per game, but it's still early, in the year. So those stats are.
So that
But Pitt's defense, Birge, is 15th, and their rushing defense is 6th.
Well, I mean, I got you. Is there rushing? Is the number skewed early in the year because of the team you played?
Yeah. West Virginia ranks 116th in third down percentage, only converting 29% of the time. Pittsburgh ranks 28th on defense, allowing its opponents to convert a quarter of the time. So the passing, the Marcella guy, 400 yards, and the white kid, and then Cam Vaughn, 170 yards for 9 catches and a tutty. Where is he? Is from Villarica, Georgia. So he would have played at – where would he have played at?
He played at Temple High School.
Okay.
It's right in that same general vicinity.
Villarica.
Yeah, in that area.
Well, here's probably I kind of think it may be I know a lot of people are talking about Florida and LSU. It is a big game, and I broke down Texas A&M, Notre Dame. I broke it down every which way from Sunday, but I got to ask you first. This is the game that there's a lot of talk about. This is an opportunity for this team to really make a splash on the scene as far as a coach. They're working as of yesterday to hire they're going to have a CEO, quote, unquote, to run their athletic department. South Florida is going to be traveling to the Miami Gardens at 3:30 on the C-Dub network. They're going to take on number 5, the Hurricanes. Is there, a chance, Miami is favored by a little over 2 touchdowns. Is there a shot that South Florida can upset this team too? Can Brown go out there and get it done? Man, he rushed for over 100 and passed for over 100. So can Carson Beck get it done? He's 42 for 55 and 4 tutties so far. How does this game kind of go?
Well, I'll tell you this. I think Miami wins the game.
Yeah.
But I would, if I'm taking I'll be taking the points here. 17.5 at USF. I'll hit the points on USF. I think athletically they're good enough to hang with Miami. What USF needs is that quarterback to continue to run around and get yards because Miami's defensive line is going to get after him.
Yeah.
They showed that earlier in the year. They were after that Notre Dame quarterback. And at times they were coming off the edges and just, they had no answer for him. So the ability to move in the pocket is going to be huge. And, he moved well and threw it well. And, when you watch that Florida game, it's not like they were world beaters, against Florida. But
yeah, they just did the little stuff right.
I honestly think, your level of competition – I know everybody's on Billy for losing that game, but
yeah,
I don't think it's that big of a separation between a Miami squad and a Florida squad. I think they're close. I think Miami is probably a little better at this point. Quarterback play has been better, and I'll give Carson credit. He's threw the ball well. He knows where to go to the ball. He looks like a seasoned quarterback.
Well,
but I think he can also get after it.
He is. He's played a lot of big games, and he won a lot of games. He won the conference up here, and so yeah, I think South Florida has a chance. I do. Being at Miami, it's probably not a good shot, and I think they got them like 80% Miami, 80% chance to probably win this game. And the points wise, man, if Miami does win, I don't know if they. I don't know. Here's the thing with that game, and we'll go talk about Florida for a minute. But can the Russian coach at South Florida, because we know what this creates, we know what happens here. What happens is they're riding high off this big win. So, can the coach get their head back down? Because that's why Saban always preached that, him and Kirby, that faceless opponents, because that keeps you from doing this. From riding the high and then low, and you're up and down. Yeah. You're just trying to play even keel. So can he get them back down to go to Miami and try to defeat another in-state rival? Because if they don't win this game, this is the point I made Tuesday, their rest of their schedule is crap. It's like Citadel, North Texas, UTEP, Rice or something. I mean, so if they don't win this game, this really puts them in a bad spot to try to be that Cinderella playoff team, because they don't have another shot, another game to get back in.
If you don't win this game, I'm looking at Florida's schedule and the way they've played, they're not going to do you any favors as far as hanging around in that ranked team type deal.
No.
And, Boise State, you're going to have to cheer for Boise to snap out of it.
Yeah,
because you didn't handle Boise pretty good as far as on the scoreboard. Gave up some yards to them, but I mean, I think it's a must-win for their playoff hopes. Now they can still do a lot in their division, their conference, but their goal. Was South Florida? Where were they at in the AP poll?
Who's that?
South Florida.
I will tell you. We'll pull it up on here. Whoa, there it is. 18.
So right now it looks like, looking at the AP here, obviously the AP is going to be probably different than the college bowl play, the playoff rankings.
Yeah, but right now, they're going away from that, ain't they?
You talking about the rankings?
Yeah, they're not going to do they're going to take the poll and base that on the 12 to play.
Really? ESPN is going to take away all that money they make on those programs where they.
No, they're still going to have a show about it. I understood it as because of what happened last year, because we wound up getting Clemson in, and they did win their conference, but somehow we wound up with Indiana, and SMU losing their conference game, and Boise was going to get in because they were that non-group of 5. But I understood it as they're going to kind of get away from that.
Huh? I'm trying to see if I see anything.
If I'm wrong, please, anybody's welcome to.
Yeah, because I don't know myself, because that could be the case.
If I'm wrong, I'll say, hey. But I thought I remember them talking about what a big crap show it was, and the most disappointing part about it was that we had 2 different polls. Like, well, I mean, what's the use of having one or the other if we're just going to? I mean, there's no need to have an AP poll if we're just going to have a end of the year, ranking. Then after. When the playoffs are going to be set, then the AP poll might as well just disappear because it don't have any basis on anything.
I know they did select members for the 2025, 2026 selection committee. So that leads me to believe that they're going to do some kind of something. Let's see here.
they'll still definitely have a show, and they'll have a but they're going to take the AP every week and bring it in. And they'll break it down that way to show here's our 12. Indiana never belonged in any of that. Zach just wants to go. He just wants to go back to the computer to BCS. Let's just pick 4 good teams and just let them play it off, man. I mean, just take conference champs, period. But they're like, well, we're missing opportunity at money. Why are we missing opportunity at money? You can still have an opportunity to make plenty of money from the bowls. Incentive to to play the bowl games. They're talking about next year to have an incentive to pay a tier of money as you go along further. You make $5,000 or $10,000 or they'll triple it up to $30,000 for playing further in the playoffs to keep these guys from opting out. I would just say put it in their contracts, and we're going to have to go to contracts. That way they don't leave, so they're not going to opt out.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but here is
go ahead.
Here's what I'm seeing here on their website. It said, of course, they're changing the format to where you're not going to get the automatic buys. If anybody that's outside of the top 12 is one of the top conference champs, you'll go to that 12 position or 11 and 12, depending on however many there are outside the top 12.
And depending on Notre Dame, because that crap we have to deal with them.
So now, if Notre Dame is the highest ranked, then they will go in as 1. You see what I'm saying? Like they can actually be 1, 2, 3, 4 now, whereas last year they couldn't get the first round bye. So it says all other operational policies will remain the same for 2025-26. The ranking of teams will continue to be done by a selection committee. Teams ranked 5 through 12 will play in the first round with the higher seeds hosting the lower seeds on either campus, and then the 4 highest seeds will play the winners of those. So it sounds like there will be a selection committee, but there won't be any automatic. There are automatic qualifiers, but there will not be any champion. Like the SEC champ is not guaranteed a bye. Basically, what I'm trying to say, they're going to go by the rankings of what the committee puts out. So,
are they saying the committee's going to put out a ranking, or they're going to go by the AP ranking?
Yeah, it says the ranking of teams will continue to be done by a selection committee.
Well, then it's going to be the same crap as last year.
I tend to agree with you. It says the 5 highest ranked conference champions are guaranteed access. The seeding in the finale will depend on where they're ranked in that ranking. So there is a possibility that, like last year, if a team is sitting there at 12, you may get left out. If your USF team is ranked 13 or 14 or 15,
Now, if you was to take it today, then that would be Miami would play. I can't.
Let's see here. On. So who's your conference champs? I mean, LSU would be your SEC champ. So Penn State would be at large. Your ACC champ would be Illinois right now.
Well, you'd have to mix a 1 through 4 is nearly perfect but you got 3 Big Ten teams because you got Oregon, Ohio State, Penn State. So you have to move Miami up and Notre Dame.
No. Even if you win your conference, you're not getting moved up. You will play wherever you're ranked.
Well, I'm just using it for just a stupid example. Okay. Just for idiots like me to make sense of. Come on, man, work for me here. Come on.
Well, Iowa State. What conference is Iowa State in?
They're Big Ten, ain't they?
Yeah, you're right. So you got you got Big Ten, SEC, ACC. Heck, USF would be
like the highest ranked of each class would be the highest ranked Big Ten is Ohio State. The highest ranked SEC is LSU.
All right.
Then
What's the next one?
The highest
ACC.
ranked would be Miami.
Correct.
And
So
then the highest Big 12 team
it would be whatever division USF's in. What's USF in? Because there's not a Big 12 team ahead of USF.
No, there's not.
And then you would go to whatever the next conference is after that. Utah's in what conference?
The Big 12.
So, yeah, that would be your – so, in this – if it ended today, USF would be your 11th seed and Utah would be your 12th seed. And that would mean that South Carolina and Clemson would be kicked out. They would go to 14.
They wouldn't be Georgia, Texas, Illinois, Florida State. Yeah, none of those guys would make it. But
they would. Georgia would make it as an at-large. So would Texas, Notre Dame. They're not going to take. You still can make it as an at-large. There's a bunch of at-large positions.
Okay. Well, like I was assuming to say, the top two SEC teams will be LSU and Georgia. Say they played for it and LSU won.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Then that
okay.
would be Georgia.
I was just looking at the ranking and then say this is the final ranking somehow or another, and then putting them into the playoff.
Right.
So, yeah, I get what you're saying, though. I mean, you're saying that, Georgia would take a loss and, Texas would have losses and they would drop down, which is probably the case. That's why you're not going to see that many of those teams up there because they're going to beat each other up. Then when I don't next year.
We gotta fix that, man. I want the best teams and I want good games. And I think everybody watching here, they all want good football. We all want to see good games. And, but like the way the season opened, Birge, good Lord, man, we had a slobber knocker from Friday to Monday.
Yeah, it was good. That was good.
And then the next weekend is we had 3 or 4 good games. And then this coming weekend, there's some pretty good games on.
Just
talking about which is there any besides Georgia is Florida and LSU interest you at all?
Yeah, Florida could throw a wrench in it. I know
6:30. ABC at 6:30.
And they're traveling, right? They're going to LSU.
Yeah, night game. That Baton Rouge.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a tough one.
It's going to be hot.
I'll be interested to see the A&M Notre Dame game.
LSU's rush defense is 7th now. Their scoring defense 13th. Overall, they're 11th overall defense. Florida defensively is best in the overall. They're 26th. And LSU's going to throw their passing defense is 37th. Florida's is. So, right now, it's LSU's favored by a touchdown. Does Billy bounce back, guys? What do y'all think? Hit the comments too.
I don't think so.
From the way that I talked about South Florida having the opportunity to, put their program into even more talk to beat 3 top-ranked teams. This is an opportunity too for Florida to stay in the talk because everybody knows their schedule. They play 8 ranked teams.
Florida gets a win this week, and South Florida gets a win this week, or even plays close. They're back in the conversation if they just keep winning. Now, that's easier said than done. They have Miami, Texas, A&M, Georgia, Ole Miss, Tennessee. It's a murderer's row, but just win, baby.
It's an opportunity for Billy to keep his team where the talk of him being fired already is is huge. So it's a good way to try to calm some of that talk. It's just one. I'm telling you, it's just that kind of year, man. That you just don't know. We may show up and Florida's got the guys. DJ's a little. he's a little inconsistent sometimes. He kind of holds the ball a little too much, I think. And kind of like Arnold, Jackson Arnold, he holds the ball too long. He got sacked like 5 or 6 times against Ball State. That cannot happen in SEC play. When they go to play Oklahoma, bro, they are going to get after them. And DJ is that way. If the first check ain't there, I'm going to take off and run with it. So I would probably – LSU should probably pound them by 2 touchdowns. But something stupid may happen. I didn't think Alabama would show up at LSU last year and just beat the dog out of them either. I was surprised by that game. You did say A&M and Notre Dame. I'm interested in that when it's at Notre Dame. We know what happened last year. Notre Dame don't want to go, bro. Look, if they go 0-2, start out the season, and they lose this game, Reed is good, and Notre Dame's got to get some kind of pass rush on him. You cannot just let him stand back here and throw the ball. I mean, he's throwing the ball around, and we know they're tailbacks. Everybody knows about Moss and the guys. They run the ball well. A&M's big enough up front, I think, to slow down Notre Dame's pass rush because they've had about as many sacks as Alabama has. That'd be like none. So I think A&M's got a great shot to win this game. They go 3-0. Coach Elko's a very organized guy. He's a player's coach kind of guy, kind of like a DeBoer guy. He kind of likes talking with the guys and has a feel and a mix in the locker room. So talking about a program booster in recruiting, that would be huge in recruiting. Huge. It's at Notre Dame. And Jeff, our great number one fan, Birge, the great Jeff Anderson, I don't know where he's at. He must be out playing bingo or something. He says nobody wins over it. I mean, Notre Dame's not losing at Touchdown Jesus. And Jeff's been watching football since 1901. So, I mean,
Well, I don't have a lot of experience at Touchdown Jesus, but I do, however, remember the Dogs going up to Touchdown Jesus, getting a W. I don't know. It's probably 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 6.
Yeah. We have experience with Jesus, which is great. But as far as up there in Indiana, I've been kind of close by that way, but not really there. So here's a game that we'll do this last one. We'll get off here. We know you got cornbread and pintos waiting for you.
I already ate. I'm good.
What about these are both 2-0 teams. It's a good SEC matchup. The fan base is wild. The music's going to be blasting. And, the home team is only favored by a little bit, which is kind of surprising where they're at. But it's going to be on SEC Network at 6:45. Birge, what about them Gamecocks hosting the Commodores of Vanderbilt?
Both of these teams, when I watch the college football shorts, man, they accomplish what both of these teams are right now. I mean, they're kind of flash. You got Pavia doing his thing, and then you have the coach, and Sellers is a good player too. I mean, he's an up and coming guy, and he can run around and throw the ball. There's no way I could say a night game at South Carolina. There's no way I could pick Vanderbilt to beat them. And, there's a lot more respect put on Vanderbilt's name because they've earned it. And I like the head coach at Vanderbilt. He's a physical guy, and he's Vanderbilt is much more physical and has a shot against anybody. 5 years ago, they were just a laughing stock, just a bye week. But now they're more relevant. I don't think they go down there and win, but I don't think they get blown out either. I think it's a close game.
So you're saying Vanderbilt does have a shot, though?
Yes. I think that they will have a shot. I think that they will be in the game in the third, maybe even the fourth quarter. But I just think South Carolina is better.
If anybody's wondering what we're talking about, it's on the screen.
That's Pavia right there. There you go. Yeah,
that's great. That's great.
Those guys are hilarious.
I love it. They do. If y'all we're talking about SEC short, just go type it in. It's hilarious, and they make fun of everybody. The one with Alabama losing was like extra. It was extremely funny.
Oh yeah, where they had the Bama guy getting on the wrong bus, getting on the Gus bus. Oh God,
he gets beat up.
Sorry, but that was funny. Yeah, I agree. There's been a bunch. There's been a bunch of funny ones. Back when anybody gets on the hot seat, they had like the hot seat on the yard sale one day, and it was hilarious.
Pavia Birge is almost 500 yards, 32 for 43, 5 tutties. Sellers has thrown 2 touchdowns. Running the ball wise, Alexander at Vanderbilt smoking it. Richardson, their receiver, is smoking it. They're way ahead in all these stats, man. They are. They're ahead in these stats. And South Carolina still, a real big favorite to win. 645 again. SEC Network. South Carolina keys here. Their offense overall, Birds. Now this sounds crazy. Now I know this is what I dig when I'm breaking down a team. I dig in on this stuff, and I wonder why people like these people that make a lot of money doing what we're doing now. Just, randomly, like the girl I broke the show open with, that moved South Florida, down 4 spots after that. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? We all seen that today. South Carolina's overall offense, Birge, is 118th. They're only 200 yards per game. They're 100th in passing, 100th in rushing, 56 in scoring. South Carolina defensively is no better than anybody. They've overall allowed 300 yards a game, where Vanderbilt is 25th overall in offense. And their rushing attack is 27th in the nation, scoring at 21st. Vanderbilt's overall defense, Birds, take a listen. Now, hold on now. This is Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's defense overall is ranked 5th. Their passing defense is ranked 12th. South Carolina's 116th in third down percentages, containing 29% over the time. Vanderbilt ranks 61st on defense, allowing its opponents to convert 33% time. So both teams having strong red zone offenses, each scoring on 100% of their trips, lead the FBS, though, in the red zones. So that's what makes this game interesting. Lenore Sellers, we talked about his yards and stuff, 60% completion percentage for him. Pavia, 74% completion percentage. And Alexander is over nearly, 160 yards with 22 carries, 2 touchdowns. Now, these are stats, and stats are just that. And the game is played on the grass, which we know and we've done. And, but it sounds like, Birge, Vanderbilt may roll up there and smoke these old boys, and they're up there playing Sandstorm. And if they get the ball first, if I'm Coach Lee, if I win the toss, I'm taking the ball, and I'm going to challenge South Carolina's defense to open the game.
I mean, if you how they do during the playoff season, if you did a blind team resume, you would pick the Vanderbilt Commodores every time.
Yeah. Hit your refresh on your screen. See if it'll fix your mic.
Is it off?
No, it's staticky.
Oh, I don't hate
my headphones. Yeah, try that. See if I unplug it. Uh-oh. Now, We'll wait for Birge to get back. He's just going to hit the refresh button. This, I mean, look, we're picking. If we're picking, Tennessee to have a shot against Georgia, why can't we pick Vanderbilt to have a shot against South Carolina? Dude, South Carolina is what's up?
What about now?
It's still the same. It may be my earphones. It may not be you.
I don't hear it coming through the speakers, so
Okay. It may be my earphones. Hey, look, if we're crazy enough to maybe pick Tennessee to beat Georgia, Birge, why can't we be crazy enough to pick Vanderbilt? They're both 2-0. It sounds like South Carolina's defense and stuff it don't sound like they're doing real great. If his mic sounds funny over there, y'all hit the comments and tell us what you're hearing on your side. It may be these headphones. That may be all it is.
I'm on Twitter listening to it.
It don't sound bad.
No,
it
doesn't. I'm a little loud. I can back away from it a little bit. Yeah, this is the game that I wanted to bring up and chat about for a second, because I think that was a big one.
It was my headset. I reset the box and it sounds good.
Okay.
Ha I am good at something. Hey, wife. Hey, I am good at something. We'll move on from Vanderbilt. That's just nobody's really talking about that game. Birge, look, Vanderbilt's offense overall is 25th. South Carolina's overall defense is 57th. Does that mean anything? Is that worth mentioning, or am I just being Mina Kimes, just a stat person up here blobbing about stats that mean nothing? I mean, which one am I? Does it mean anything? Or
Vanderbilt's stats are more impressive. Honestly, hearing those stats and looking at the projection of the game, which gives ESPN's only giving Vanderbilt a 34.9%, and they're, of course, Vanderbilt is a 4.5-point dog. I think it has a lot to do with the past, and I think it has a lot to do with a 7:45 start at South Carolina. But it's not crazy to think that Vanderbilt could go down there and get the win.
I'm just a little surprised that nobody's talking much about it. I talked a lot yesterday about Georgia Tech Clemson. I got Clemson wrote down to win by a touchdown. I think they're going to give them a lot of trouble.
Yeah, because what Georgia Tech does good, the physical game, is what Clemson struggled with so far this year.
That's what it sure does seem like.
Yep.
ESPN later game at 6, 17th ranked Ole Miss against 2-0 Razorbacks. Ole Miss coming in with the top 5 ranked offense and a top 50 defense. Arkansas, guess what their overall offense is? 4. Their offense is better on paper than Ole Miss. And their defense, they're hanging around in the 30s in defense too.
Yeah, I think this is one of the numbers that we're going to see that's a little skewed because you played Alabama and A&M and Arkansas State. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Taylor Green is a good player, and I think they have some good players. But I think you're going to see them come back to reality a little bit this week when they go to Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss is a good team, and I think the quarterback at Ole Miss.
Yeah, Simmons.
He can be really good.
When he's on, he's a 60% guy. He's thrown 4 picks and 3 tutties. That's not good, but you got Lacey to be able to run the ball. He's carried the ball over 40 times already. And that Wallace kid, he can make some noise. And Taylor Green is good. He's 70% on his completion percentage.
10 touchdowns.
I hear a lot from a lot of people, and there is some good games on this. There's some good games on this weekend. I think this may be Well, the portal has just kind of made more everything kind of like NFL anyway. We're kind of seeing games a little closer. Like we're actually having a conversation about Vanderbilt. They may have a shot to beat South Carolina. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, 5 years ago, we're not talking about that. We're not at all. We're not talking about that at all. But Ole Miss, Arkansas, who's it more important to? I think this is one of those games that Kirby's riding super high. They missed out on the playoffs last year because of that kick at Kentucky. And the Slobbering Hogs and Coach Pittman, which we like, we're old fat boy linemen like him. And I like him, man. I mean, I watched him in SEC interviews. I've watched him with SEC Mike on his podcast. He's the kind of guy you just would go hang out and shoot the breeze and fish on the dock and get a pinch of snuff and drink some tea with.
He definitely needs a good start for the SEC season.
He's got to win this game, man. Even if we can just keep it within a touchdown and make them look, like they got a pulse against Ole Miss. But if Simmons goes in there and starts throwing a bunch of picks, dude, there's a high possibility, but it is in Oxford, and that's going to help. 6 o'clock ESPN game, that's going to be a difference. But I like there's a lot of good games on here that there's not a lot of blowout picks this weekend. I try to stay away from those picks like, Western Michigan, Illinois. Okay, whatever. It's a 30-point game. But all these other games, man, they're all touchdown games. So for my favorite game of the night that I'm really excited for, and I know that you are too, is Utah's going to Wyoming. I'm just kidding. But, that's not but most of these other games, Oregon State, Texas Tech, big spread on that game. Auburn and South Florida, we'll do them last and we'll get off. Tell me about the Auburn Tigers. Where are you at with them right now in the Freeze third-year era of his play? And are you seeing improvement for Auburn? Are you seeing improvement from them from last year first?
Well, I think so. I was proud that they didn't go to Baylor and lay an egg. That was huge. Thought they played, pretty good at times. They handled their business last week against Ball State, which I think they're going to do again against South Alabama this week. I think South Alabama is a little better than Ball State, but athletically especially. But they're going to win this game, and they got to go to Oklahoma next week. That's going to be a big showdown. Auburn's schedule is it looks pretty tough here for the next.
They got a couple of tough weeks. Overall, I think they got a sweet schedule. I think even their tougher games, the two tough ones they play every year are at home. So far, just being honest, they're better than last year because they got a quarterback that can run out of danger, that their line's letting guys leak through. And Thorne couldn't do that. And when he did try to roll and pass, he was turning the ball over. And now you have the option of checking the box that instead of, getting out of the pocket and trying to find somebody and turn the ball over, now you got the option of Jackson Arnold's his legs to be able to run and scatter around. But, playing against the 84th ranked defense, Ball State, they're going to step up and play, South Alabama, which can do their thing. Overall, 43rd ranked defense, 104th in pass defense, but they're second in rush defense. So,
Ball State had 68 yards total offense.
I mean, they're supposed to. Like, the cupcakes, you're supposed to eat all of them joyfully and not leave any crumbs behind. You're supposed to score on every drive when you get the ball. Like Bama beat a cupcake like you want to see a team do. They score every time they get the ball. They could have scored 80 points, had 2 touchdowns called back, but that's what you want to see from a team. And we need our SEC teams to win. We don't need Auburn to blow it this weekend. And they're like, we're 2-0. We're get the high head, and we're going to just tromp on South Alabama. Yeah, that's probably what should go down. I don't know if they cover. I think they come out first and struggle a little bit with them because that run defense is not going to be bad. And I don't know if Alston's going to start the game. Have you heard anything different through the day about him in any news? I haven't. He may be a game time decision. I love Jeremiah Cobb, covered him his high school career at Montgomery Catholic, watched him play his last game and losing to Fife down there at the high school championship game. And it's a game they should definitely take. They should be able to take care of business. And there's some of their media people already kind of backing up and saying, well, it may be close. And, well, I don't know if they're rush defense. And, you know, I don't know. They should be able to take care. They should be able to take care of the SEC Network 11:45 for Auburn and South Alabama. It's a good opportunity for them. Auburn is favored by 24.5, 93% favored to win the game. And this Davenport guy's thrown for a lot of yards. Tailbacks, Bullock has ran for a lot. Jennings, their defensive guy. Let's see, where was he from? He's from Madison. He's a freshman, 6'3", 290. So they have some young guys playing. It's going to have to play. So there's not a chance of them South Alabama winning this game, though, right?
There should be.
So I guess what I would like to see from them for improvement-wise, I'd like to see Arnold be able to make better decisions with the ball, not hold it too long. It's just not his forte. You kind of want to see him run the RPO a little more this weekend, but we're going to have to find out, man. If I'm Auburn, I win the toss. I want the ball. I want to go down and score and make sure they know who we are. That's what I want to do. But their run defense is pretty good. Their run defense is pretty good, so we're going to have to see how it all kind of lays out this weekend. A lot of good lineups, a lot of good stuff on this weekend. We'll end it with where we began with it. Tennessee balls. Tennessee kicks field goal, Birge. They beat the Dogs this year.
I mean, it could happen.
But what is – this is what I'm afraid. I mentioned this. This is what worries me. I think, and I may be because I've been wrong before, once in 96. There was one time I was wrong. I'm joking. Do you think 30 wins the game? Is that a good scenario?
I think that's what I think Tennessee has to get out to a hot start, keep the crowd in it, limit Georgia, and got to be able to slow down the Georgia run game because they're going to try to run the ball. If you can slow down the run game, I think you got to put 30 on the board. And I just don't know if they're putting 30 on Georgia's defense. Now, I know it's not the same caliber defense as it's been before, but I think it's still pretty good.
Oh, sure. I agree. I think the first 30 is going to win it. And 31-28. Tennessee ain't played a great opponent. Georgia didn't play any better opponents last week. I don't like how they were trying. And I'm sure of one thing, that practice this week, it's hard to get them fired up to play Austin Peay. It's not going to be hard to motivate the guys this week to prepare for Tennessee because tomorrow they'll probably have their last install for a game plan for the week. Friday, they'll probably do walkthrough stuff. Saturday morning, they'll be out there, or Saturday afternoon, they'll be out there, walking through stuff and finishing up for the day, get ready for they'll be at Tennessee this year. Well, here's a note to take with you. If you do lose, if they storm the field, Birge, you're still relevant.
I I would say that after losing 8 in a row, yes, I believe they would storm the field if they win. I think.
I had to remind my Alabama fans that were on the edge of suicide from losing to Florida State. I had to remind them that as long as they're storming the field, guys, you're still Alabama. Now, when they beat you and Bama's picked to win by 20 or more and they don't storm the field, it may be time to find a new coach. That's when you know things have went south.
I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be a heck of a game. That's why I'm ready for it.
If Georgia gets behind fast, it's going to be an uphill climb. Yeah, I mean I'm just thinking that maybe, this is a year. If they're going to do it, they need to go ahead and get on top of it right now. Because as a Georgia fan, you need Georgia to lose this game for me because this will give you a mark to fire Bobo. Okay, I like Todd, man, not Diamond Dean Todd, but I liked him, man. I know he, pastures are greener, and you want to go on. Where's he even at now? He's in the pros somewhere, ain't he?
Ravens.
See, and they're killing it up there. Golly, man. I know you lose coaches, and Kirby was part of that tree from Saban, and he's been through it, and he's seen them come and go from Sarkisians to Kiffins to Dan Lannings to Billy Napier's, all those guys that's been around. Man,
I hate to do this because you're going to be like, oh, goodness. But when you look at history, Bobo's numbers are good.
I know. Hey, look, the best numbers that they ever had was him when, Stafford was there, right?
Well, I mean,
I know.
Jimmy's and Joe's.
I know. But it's like saying Alabama won it in, like, what was it, 17? They beat Notre Dame, or 16? Yeah, no crap, dude. They had the best players like 20. I mean, they should have won it. I mean, like Matthew Stafford, he's one of the hardest throwing quarterbacks. You ask receivers around the league, and they're like, that dude can throw it through a freaking bank vault door. He's good. I'm a big fan of him. I think he was great. I'm a big Aaron Murray fan. Personally, I like Murray. I liked him. I like how he played. I like him. I think he's one of the all-time Georgia greats. Now, Stafford's one. He is. Like, McCarron's probably one. Everybody likes Tua at Bama. I'm not a Tua fan. Mr. Glass was just not it for me. I wasn't crazy about Bryce neither. I just wasn't. Now, I liked your quarterback, and I always forget his stinking name. The one that they went to the Rose Bowl and won that year. He played for only like a year or two. That year y'all won the Rose Bowl out there. I loved it, man. He's a competitor. Loved watching him play. Who was that? Who was your quarterback that year?
When we beat was
it Michigan?
No, it was you talking about the Oklahoma game when we beat Baker?
Is that what it was?
It was that's who we played in the Rose Bowl, but
okay. Who was the quarterback that year? I always forget his name. He's my favorite. I mean, he's top 5 SEC quarterback probably for me.
You talking about Jake Fromm?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like him, man. Is anybody else a Fromm fan on here? Georgia people. I know we got a lot of Georgia people watch. Are y'all? I think he was great. Was you a fan? Or am I just overhyping him?
I mean, he was a good player. I mean, there's no doubt that. I think he was definitely a team guy too.
I like watching him play. He's in with that conversation. They're going to say, well, Joe Burrow's a lot better. He had more yards passing it. But I'm just saying those guys are in that bank with me, Aaron Murray's and Stafford's and Fromm's. Georgia's had some great quarterbacks. Staquinus Bennett, I mean, it is what it is, but the dude figured out a way to win. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't really crazy about him neither, and I never was a bet guy. I don't know. I can't get on board with that guy. I don't know what it is. Just it's like you look at his numbers and the picks, and he throws. It's like we didn't throw crazy amount. Well, didn't he tie the team record for picks, or tie the SEC record?
He had a run where he had he tied a record for games in a row, the amount of picks or something like that. It was a pretty good run.
Well, good luck to the Dogs this Saturday. If history speaks loudly for itself, then they'll probably beat them by 20. And we'll find out. We're going to find out starting this week and next week kind of where these teams are at. Bama and Georgia's going to lock up. We'll have you come back on, and we'll break that game down every way we can. And we're fixing to start finding out, though, Birge.
Yep. If I remember correctly, I heard that about some key injuries for Tennessee coming into this week.
Yes, they do. I had a list on that. McCoy and McCoy kid, and I think a Jones kid. They're both their DB guys are out. But the Hood kid filled in for them Birds, and he wound up being player of the week. He leads the SEC in knockdowns. Whatever that's worth. I mean, they ain't played a lot of body. I mean, they ain't played nobody really.
I'm interested to see what they try to do to Georgia, because I feel like that.
Is Georgia going to come in trying to – if y'all get the ball first, are they going to come in and are they going to smoke show it? Are they going to start throwing the ball up in the air? Or what do you kind of feel?
I do not expect to see that, no. I expect to see handoff and establish the run. I have a sneaky suspicion that Georgia's going to run the ball pretty decent for some reason, especially if Ernest Green's back.
Yeah, now, so you're definitely going to be out one lineman for sure, right? Didn't he? Is he the one hurt had an elbow something or?
I hadn't confirmed. I mean, Kirby does. The Wednesday injury report is. You might as well just take a guess on your own.
$230 ABC number 6 versus number 15. Georgia offense 36. Georgia defense 7th. Why is Vanderbilt's defense better? What is this? The Twilight Zone? Georgia's got the better scoring defense. Tennessee offensively, Birge, is a few ranks above Ole Miss. They are second in the FBS right now with 600 yards a game, and 350 passing and 250 rushing, and scoring average here of 58 points a game. But I know their opponents have been great. They're defensively overall 53rd. So, and Georgia offensively coming in at 36, running the ball at 34th average to be 214 yards a game, scoring 35 a game. So there you go. There's some Mina Kimes numbers for you guys.
I'm looking here, and it says that both Gaston and Green, which would be the tackle and guard, participated in practice. They both done some individual work, done some work against scout teams, and they're both moving around. I'm not sure where they stand. I'll get to go watch the tape and see how they did today here in a few minutes. But they moved around pretty good today. So, I don't know. It's interesting to
What's up, Kevin?
To see how it ends up.
Yeah, he will. Well, I'm not as good as Mina Kimes. I mean, she's prettier than me, but
I tend to agree with what Kevin said there, that he's going to have to throw it deeper. But
yeah,
when you get man to man, or when you get anything but 3 high safety, I promise you, they're going to throw it deep.
Well, he's got to be. It's the same thing. It's just in football in general. When the coaches start talking and you listen to them, a lot of the coaches have this word. You know the word I'm going to say: explosive plays.
Yeah.
You're looking for these guys to have explosive plays down the field, and I'll use Bama for example. I can pick on them. That Florida State game, people kept saying, "Why don't you just go back to running the ball?" And why couldn't you just keep running the ball? What was the problem there? Well, it was a tie game, and when you run the ball and get 2 yards and then 5 yards, that's 7. So then it's going to be 3rd and 3, and then some knucklehead gets off sides and it's 10 yards back. Now it's 3rd and 13.
Yeah.
So that takes the running out of the equation. So then the offensive coach upstairs calls down and says, well, in our assessment for the week, because they have a grad assistant like Auburn did, they talked about Freeze having 3 guys. Well, they got 3 guys calling plays. No, that's not what that means. They have people that run analysis for games for your opponent and gives you the best option. So on 3rd and 10 or more, they have a particular play, and it's not a run play.
Yeah, and it's not play action because they know it's not a run.
People have to. We got a lot of fans, and I'm a fan too, but they just say crazy stuff like, "We'll just run the ball." It's just not that. Okay, listen, you're right. Kalen DeBoer said this. You know what? On the headset, Grubb says, "Yeah, we're gonna have to throw it here. This is the play that we would run in statistically to have the best way to probably make a first down." And DeBoer comes back on the headset and says this in the fans' twilight zone. You know what? The fans say we just need to run it. Let's just run it right here because I really would like to lose this game and have everybody in the freaking media in Alabama trying to burn my house down and kill my wife. Are you kidding me? They're not trying to lose the game, you idiots. The coaches are not trying to lose the game. It's not just like run the ball. Why did they go away from the run? Because they got behind because the defense was freaking loafing. You got to put some sting on the butts of the defense. They got behind and had to throw the ball because of a penalty, which then changes things. These head coaches are way smarter than any of us sitting here talking about it or looking at a camera. It's a numbers game. It's a math game. It's numbers. They have numbers. When they get the ball on the 20, they know they got to go how many yards? They got to go 81 yards. If they're starting at the 20, it's all math to them. These people, Grubb worked in NFL at some time. He improved the Seahawks. They jumped like 12 spots in their offense. So he's not bad at his job. But when guys change the play calling because of their non-focus ability to get penalties, and then they talk about, well, by God, when Saban was there, they wasn't none of this stuff. They were dedicated to the team, and they wouldn't nobody getting in trouble. They was disciplined. Well, I think, Birge, if you can remind me if I'm wrong, please somebody tell me. I think Nick Saban had the most penalized team in the nation in 22 and 23.
I remember you talked about it. I remember, yeah.
The media talked about it. They were grinding on Saban. There ain't no discipline down there since Nick's gone, by God. When a kid farted in the seat, by God, he got his ass chewed out. That's crap. Stop doing that. It's not true. So these type of statistical analysis and how these guys throw the game out there, they're not trying to lose. So, and back to this, what Kevin was saying, he's going to have to throw the ball deeper. They ain't had to play nobody where he's really had to. Okay. Right now, they're trying to get him in a rhythm of playing the game, throwing the ball, and finding his receivers against somebody other than his own defense. And you hope that the Georgia defense he sees at practice is better than what he's going to see on Saturday. And I'm assuming it's going to be that way for them for a lot of the season. Bama will be the only one that has some real stars D-backs that can really shine and make a difference in the game. So you want him to throw it deep, but when he throws a pick, then what do we say, Birge? Stop throwing the ball, run the ball. What are you doing?
Why don't you run a screen?
Run a bubble, run the QB draw. How do you get rid of the blitz? You run draws and screens. So, yes, he's going to have to throw the ball to be successful in SEC. Kevin's right. At some point in the game, he's got to have those explosive plays, what all the media talks about. And those are those chunk plays that get you a big burst, a big play on a big pass. And you have to hit some of those sometimes because the game is so fast now, and the refs are the only ones that really slow it down. I ain't going to get started on the refs. What are they doing with these birds? How are you supposed to catch the ball and you fall on the ground with it? And by God, if that ball moves and you fall on the ground, ain't no touchdown. Not only was it not even a touchdown, poor LSU, they didn't even give him the catch at all.
Yeah, they said he didn't
complete the process.
Yeah, in the ground.
Well, I mean, it's just like Plaxico Burress flashbacks to the Super Bowl with the Giants up there. They took the game away from them. That's probably 15 years ago. They took the game away from the Giants. I'll never forget that. They changed that rule that year, and it changed football. They're talking about, dude, this is my take on it. There's a goal line. When you run the ball in, as soon as it don't have to go over the line, as soon as that ball touches the line, it's touchdown. As soon as you catch it and your foot's in bounds, touchdown. What does it matter if he has to get up? I don't even know if it really matters if he has to get up. As soon as he catches it and his foot's down, it's touchdown. He could take the ball and throw it up in the stands. I don't see it's not an incomplete pass. We're not talking about making a catch on the field. We're talking about catching it in the end zone. I think there has to be, they need to look at that better. And they've just got worse on it.
I mean, they called it by the letter of the rule book. I mean,
yeah, it's stupid.
I mean, I get
it's a stupid rule. And the targeting stuff, that's just got, I mean, like Kirkpatrick, they throwed that boy out for throwing a shoulder in that kid's and that's a big old man. That Griffin kid at La Monroe, he's like 6'6", 240. He's huge.
I think targeting should be
unsportsmanlike.
Unsportsmanlike. You get to, you're ejected, 15 yards and go back at it. I mean, 99% of the targeting you say was not that malicious. They're trying to tackle the guy, and they're getting low, and the offensive guy is trying to get lower. And they hit it. I mean,
yeah. I understand them trying to protect the receiver coming across the middle. I'm old enough to remember these 90s games. There was a receiver at the Bills. His name was BB, little white guy. You want to talk about the first style of who was the Oconee boy that played at Georgia there? Yeah, little white guy. Not Bowers, but McConkey.
Oh.
Oconee. Played at Oconee.
No, he played at North Murray.
North Murray. I always want to say he played Oconee. I think I just like saying Oconee because I love how
they got a guy that's made in the mold of McConkey, that the freshman this year from McConkey.
Well, the rule was to protect those guys like McConkey because before he was born and probably when his daddy was young, we watched a little guy named BB that played for the Bills when Jim Kelly was the quarterback, and he would tear off across that middle, just sacrifice himself. Go back and pull some videos of BB getting knocked. I remember seeing him get knocked out on Monday Night Football, and his arms went stiff. I was about 12 or 13 or so. I was like, what the heck is going on? Mom was like, well, when you get hit like that in the head, your body shuts off and to protect itself so you don't move, so you go stiff. I had never seen nobody get knocked out like that. So I get the rule of the targeting to try to protect the players, but Kirkpatrick's helmet never even touched the guy. He throwed his shoulder in his chest. His head went across. He tackled. His helmet went across the ball. How many times do you hear that from Dean? Head across. We got to get across. We're getting across. You got to get your head across. That's what it's supposed to be. And that's what we're doing. And they're throwing now. If he tears off across the middle and he turns, runs a little quick slant, and the linebacker comes across and does some Reuben Foster stuff like diving with his hands behind his back, and he's taking the crown of his helmet and putting it in your face mask, that's dangerous. I get it for both players. Okay, throw the flag. But the number one thing, lastly, stop throwing them out. Stop throwing them out of the game. Stop throwing them out. That's got to stop. We got to stop throwing them out, Birge. I don't like it. I don't.
This is one where they would probably take him to the jail. But I want to show you this video real quick before we jump off.
Yeah.
You've probably seen it. It's a Ray Maluga video. And he's playing against UCLA. Quarterback breaks outside the pocket. Ray Maluga comes up and just gives them the business. Let me hit play. Think they throw him out these days for this?
Oh my God, he's dead. Go get the stretcher, Larry.
He did not. He popped straight back up. You'll see him pop up. He's already got back in the huddle. Watch the slow mo. It's even better in slow mo.
Mate, that's not even targeting, bro. He bowled him up with his arms. Oh no, he didn't. I apologize. He hit him with
Yeah, but the last view kind of changes it a little
play him.
bit.
That's how you play football.
The
It's
last
reckless.
view, boom.
Oh yeah, it's reckless abandonment, man. If you don't have the mindset when you go out there to play, if that's not where you're at with your mind, then I'll tell you what my son told me one time.
Yeah, he's good.
It's my son told me this one time just last year. He played 2 or 3 years. Playing linebacker, he said, and he didn't tell me this during the season because it would have probably worried me. I know he wouldn't tell his mama. She would have freaked out. He said, I mean, honestly, like you had to be, I didn't care if Aiden died. I was like, son, come on, don't say that. But he ain't played now. He tackles. He now gets to tackle inmates out of jail where he works at up north of here. So, but he said you had to be willing in his mind to just absolutely at all cost. He's not going around this end. I'll put him up in the stands, and that's how he played. And he wasn't no all-state linebacker, but he played hard, and that's how you're supposed to play the game. And when we take that, that away, there's just no. There's no line for what we're calling these kids and throwing these kids out of the games for. Because one week you see it. I seen some last week, like a few plays later, that was maybe been worse than the one they threw a guy out, and they don't call it.
Yeah.
There's no consistency. So if there's no consistency in the rule, stop throwing them out. Just make it a 15.
I agree.
Just make it a 15.
15 and move on. You get 2, you're there.
Yeah, I guess he's still alive now. He may have brain damage. He may eat soup out of a banana peel. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't even know. I couldn't even recall the quarterback's name.
Those are those plays, man. I grew up watching Ronnie Lott, big hero of mine as a kid. I wanted to be him in the backyard and playing Pee Wee ball. I wanted to be Ronnie Lott and Lawrence Taylor and Reggie White, and everybody wanted to be Walter Payton and Bo Jackson when I was a kid. That was the thing. And it's just kind of sad that it's gone away. And now there was one of the guys from one, I don't remember which game I was watching. Dude, we talking about wearing shorts, Birge. His knee pads, he literally had them pulled. I mean, it may have been that receiver from Monroe, the big one, Zero, Griffin. His pads are pulled way up over his knee, man. I mean, way up over his dot. What are they even doing? They're wearing freaking shorts out there. Is this what we're doing? I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. When I played, they would send you out of game, and you would not come back in until you had your pads over.
Hey, I was at a high school game the other weekend, And first play of scrimmage, they lined up. It was Valley Head Gainesville game. First play, I remember who had the ball. The ref blowed the whistle, stopped, paused. All the linemen stood up, and he went to the receiver and said, "Pull that down over your knee," and he did. And they blowed the game back in, let them play. You know, they didn't make a big deal about it, and that's how you handle it. You know, especially with high school kids.
Yeah.
It's there for your protection. They don't even wear their mouthpieces because they see them on college. Freaking the receivers running down the field, their mouthpieces. Bro, he ain't never been hit like that. That boy, one of them receivers, Ryan Williams, you take off down the field and you get hit like that with no mouthpiece. I don't know if they get you woke up. It may be Christmas and you'll be hoping it's Easter.
Yeah, you want your two front teeth, Chris.
Bro. Yeah, he'd probably be toothless. Junior Sayal, man, those guys, talking about reckless abandonment. Was that Sayal that hit him?
I was Ray Maluka.
Oh, yeah, okay. Who's the other one? Palomalu. He's the other one that played there at USC. He was freaking wild. He used to kill people, too, at the Steelers. Love watching him play, man. And that guy didn't kill himself. And it's like all those guys have PTSD and they killed themselves from tackling hard. No, they didn't. Just everybody's different. It don't mean because everybody got brain damage from football. I know people that done a lot of drugs and you wouldn't know it now. And some of them do it for just a little while and they walk around like trying to bite their ears off. A bunch of freaking strung out weirdos. Everybody's different. Bro, what are we doing on the field? Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen that. I did see the Alabama guy they called out for having his phone in his hand or something.
And that's dumb. Dude, okay, number one, I'm not taking up for him for Bama because I'm not taking up for Ryan Williams bringing a T-Rex. Don't bring that in. You're just looking for attention. Stop being a little weirdo. You're doing that. You want people to look at you. Same reason Caleb Williams painting his freaking fingernails. That dude don't mean he's gay or something. He just wants attention. Stop being some meta. Just go out there and play the freaking game. And wearing the watches. Cam Coleman had on 2 watches in the game. Whoever they were playing against Baylor. Why are we wearing watches?
Why would they even let him wear a watch? I mean,
that's what
that you could literally run in. You could hurt somebody with that.
No knee pads, no mouthpiece.
Sharpie under the goalpost. I said
what
Sharpie
now?
under the goalpost. That was T.O. that pulled the Sharpie out from under the goalpost.
Oh, yeah.
Signed the football.
Yeah, that's just being and that's just how he's
Yeah.
But now Proctor with the phone in his hand, he's out there doing, it's not like he was on the phone talking to somebody.
He had his earphones in or something.
He's listening to music.
To his phone. Yeah.
And 2, they're like, well, by God, you know what you're going to hear. By God, when Saban was there, they didn't listen to music at all. They didn't have nothing. They couldn't do anything. When Saban was there, they had respect for him. They didn't listen. Bull crap. Go back and look I watched pregame. They all had on headphones and stuff. Yes, they did listen to music. What he was doing, that was like the team wasn't even out there. He was doing his own thing. He was out there just doing step backs, doing kicks. Look what he had on. By God, Saban would let him come out there in his pajamas, pants, and his mama bought him like, yeah, that's Saban was there. Tell you what, Roll Tide. That's not he wasn't with the team because when he goes in and come back out and was with the team, he had on his Bama shirt and shorts. People just look to gripe, man. If you win, it all goes away. And DeBoer talked about that today on the Hey Coach show. He said, look, if you just start winning football games, Pee Wee that called into the Alabama talk show for the past 30 years, he ain't calling in griping no more. Just go win the games. People just got to have something to gripe about. Now, I didn't like that Caleb Williams and the fingernail paint. I don't know what's up with that. That's just not me, man, but I'm nearly 50. I'm not 19. I'm close to 49. I'm 40 years older than those guys. 30 years older than those guys. I was grown, married, had a kid. My son's older than some of these players. So I don't get it. Yes, absolutely. Roy D. Mercer, he was a Bama fan. He had to be. Did you hear how he talked? I tell you what, boy, you come on down here and we'll find out just how big a boy are you then.
I think he was the Oklahoma guy, to be honest with you.
I think so. I think I seen him in a Oklahoma hat or something one time.
Yeah, the guy who did that voice, he passed away.
Yeah, Saban would have chewed him out because none of the players could come and talk to Saban. Did you see that one today? Tim Keenan come there and talk to the board. He was just kind of like he was saying, like, "Hey, we're gonna get in their tails. This is bull crap. This is not gonna happen again." And he's a captain of the defense. I promise you, Nick Saban talked to the players in the game. People were so weird about Saban, man. Golly, it's like everything he did was right. It wasn't, man. But he just got overlooked a lot of that crap because he won. But they still led the nation in penalties, and they talk about not having no control of the team. They led the nation in penalties. Dude, Birge, the Tennessee game, how many penalties did Bama have that game? 17, 16?
Yeah.
17 penalties.
That contributed. That was big part of the evolution.
By God, Saban's there. They never got a flag.
Yeah.
Shut up. Just shut up. Y'all being these fans, bro.
All right, brother. I'm gonna jump off here.
Yeah, good to hang out, bro. Got to talk some college. Tomorrow night, guys, Locker Room Sports will be here live at 6. We'll talk about high school football here in the county. Some opponents where they're going. Everybody's out of town except Sandrock. They will be hosting section. Everybody else is on the road. Cedar Bluff will play tomorrow night because of reffing shortages. They will be at North Sand Mountain tomorrow night. Dean, don't show up to Cedar Bluff to call the game Friday night. I hope Todd's watching because he'll show up at the game Friday night. Hey, where's everybody at? What's going on?
Hey, where's my steak sandwich?
Where's my hot dog at? All right, Birds, appreciate you, bro. Tell everybody where they can find you at.
You can always find us at northwestgeorgiafootball.com or at Northwest Georgia Football on Twitter, Facebook. Also, check us out. We got a new apparel store on our website. You can go to our at Northwest Georgia Football, or you can go to northwestgeorgiafootball.com. We have hats, shirts, coffee mugs, car decals. Let's see, jackets, sweatshirts.
Do you have any pictures of them? Like something you could show?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Do they have just the Northwest Georgia Scoreboard Show logo, or I'm curious because I heard you and Lawrence talking about it the other night, and I was watching y'all, and I heard you say something about it.
Yeah, I'll show you exactly what it looks like.
Polo shirts like the one you're wearing, sorta, and hats and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'll give you. I'll throw it out there.
Now, when you get tennis shoes, now I want a signed pair.
You want some penny loafers?
Yeah.
All right, so let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. Not too much. All right, shirts. We got sweaters, hoodies, another hoodie with a pocket. We got it's basically our logo on different things, shirts, long sleeves, that type of stuff. We're gonna have more too, but it is all going to help us pay for the things that we have for the program, and we have what we're going to do is we're going to have a trophy presentation for the Northwest Georgia Player of the Year. We've been doing that for a good many years now, but we want to make sure that each individual kid gets a trophy to take home, and we want their name on that trophy in the school's trophy case. And so anybody who's in that kid's family or in the future at that school will be able to go and say, hey, this kid was Northwest Georgia Football Player of the Year. We have a laundry list of players, starting way back with Trevor Lawrence, Nick Chubb. I mean, we've mostly a bunch of NFL guys that's been Player of the Year. a couple that's had good college careers, and the guy at Detroit, running back at Detroit, Gibbs, he was Northwest Georgia Player of the Year. So, a bunch of good players, and we're going to have all their names on that plaque as well to go along with this year. Last year, Zay from Chattooga was Northwest Georgia Player of the Year with like 2,500 plus yards rushing. So,
Right.
it's big time. We want to be able to, give back to the best player. Normally, he only gives it to seniors only. So there's a lot of good players that are underclassmen, but that award will go to seniors only. So anyway, that's
Okay.
what we got.
Yep. Before y'all get off, make sure you hit the thumbs up on the video, drive it on up there, subscribe over here to both the channels. It just lets you know when we go live. If you hit the little notification bell, we surely would appreciate it. Birds, have a great rest of the week. And where are you going to be at Friday night to giving free autographs?
Region play starts for Chattooga. I'll be in Summerville. Chattooga host Gordon Central. Start region play. Gordon Central is, I'm pretty sure they're still undefeated. They're 3-1, 4-0.
All right. All right, everybody, y'all go over and find his page. Give him some love over there, Birge and Lawrence and the fellers at Northwest Georgia Scoreboard Show. And we'll, I know you got to come back on now before Bama and Georgia. That's going to be, so we got plenty to talk about. I'll holler at you this weekend. I'll message you something. If Tennessee was to slip it out, bro, I ain't going to, I won't bother. I won't aggravate you too much because I called it.
If you lose, you lose. You got to.
Well, it was this way with Tennessee and Bama when that went down that way. I was mad because of the penalties. Again, it wasn't really the loss. And, I mean, after you beat somebody like 17 straight years, I mean, eventually they're going to win one. I mean, you can't be that mad, can you? I mean, Tennessee ain't beat y'all since 2015 or 16. I mean, it's been 10, 12 years. So if they do, I mean, like once every decade, I think I'll take that record. All right?
Yeah, sure.
All right, hon. We'll see you there, bro. Have a good week. Don't work too hard tomorrow.
All righty. We'll see you.
All right. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate you. All right, guys. That is a show, and we appreciate Birge for coming on. And anybody else y'all like to come back and hang out tomorrow. 6 o'clock there, Central Time, and all the times. Tomorrow night, we'll talk about some high school football, some happenings around the area here. So come back and hang out with us. We love you. Appreciate all the people that's come in and hung out with us tonight. We appreciate all of you very, very much. And come back tomorrow night about 6, and we'll talk about some more stuff. All right. Appreciate you.